Hi guys, it is Emily here, and today we are going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 2! I just finished Season 2 like half an hour ago. Oh my god, that last episode. Out of the two seasons that we got, this was the best season. At least in my opinion, I believe. I definitely think this season was better than Season 1, and not just the cameos, but also, and I think the storyline and kind of maybe the episode structure. The whole arc of Season 1 was like protecting the child. This season was all about him trying to find a teacher for the child because he has these force powers, but Mando obviously is a Mandalorian, so he can't train him, so he's got to find someone else to train him. So that was the whole goal of the second season. So I'm gonna go episode by episode and talk about the episode. Obviously, I like to take notes, so I took notes for every episode. That's what I do now when talking about a show. So the first episode of Season 2 is called The Marshal. Basically, this one, Mando goes to a town, I believe it's in Tatooine. He's looking for some more Mandalorians to help him, like, get the child to a Jedi. And he meets this guy called the Marshal, who's wearing Mandalorian armor. Mando's like, that doesn't belong to you. You're not a Mandalorian. You took your helmet off. You were definitely not a Mandalorian. And he's like, no, I found this armor in the desert. And that armor is Boba Fett's armor. We'll get to Boba Fett in a minute. That happened. That's great. He's basically the marshal of this town, and he requests Mando to help him with this, like, sandworm thing to help him, like, fight this thing, but they also involve the sand people. They've been in Star Wars movies before where they go to the sticks and they go, oh! Those guys are running around, and that sand thing is also, like, eating their people, and so the sand people and the regular humans have to kind of work together to defeat this beast. Pretty just kind of like Mando helping out a town, similar to an episode in Season 1. The episode ends with this guy on this cliff watching Mando speed away, and it turns to his face, and I'm a little kind of confused. It wasn't until I thought about it a little bit more, I'm like, wait, he looks very similar to the guy that played Jango Fett. And then I put two and two together. Why would they bring up Boba Fett's armor and then show this guy watching Mando? Because Mando now has the Boba Fett armor. And then it clicked in my head, this is Boba Fett. Boba Fett is alive? I was like, are you kidding me? Boba Fett's back. That is so cool. And he helps out a lot in the rest of the season of Mandalorian, which I think is so dope. Next, we get to episode 2, The Passenger. He meets up back again with that droid lady who was in Season 1, who I like her. She's fun. Droid lady tells Mando that there's this frog lady who needs to get to her home planet to, like, fertilize her eggs or something with her egg. And she tells Mando, if you take this frog lady across to her home planet, her husband has information on more Mandalorians. So in exchange, Mando decides to take this frog lady to her home planet. I think they're New Republic people, and they end up shooting down their ship and they crash. We get to now the eggs. Baby Yoda is starting to eat those eggs. Now, a lot of people wanted to cancel Baby Yoda over this. I hate cancel culture. I want you to take accountability for stuff, but he's a freaking puppet in a fictional universe. Grow up! Take everything out of context and make everything into, like, a whole, like, whatever. I'm not gonna talk about it. It's stupid. Whatever. Their ship is stuck there. The frog lady went to this hot spring. Well, they go to this hot spring and she's with her eggs there, and Mando's like, I understand you want to get your eggs to your planet. And there's where the episode just takes a turn for the worse, and I hated everything about it. You don't know I have severe arachnophobia. So, there's a bunch of eggs in this area. Baby Yoda decides, because he likes to eat random eggs, he opens one of those eggs up, and it has a bunch of spindly legs. Now, those remind me of those desert spiders that Ezra and Kanan came across in Rebels. I swear it's the exact same creatures. So all these spider things start coming out and they're attacking everyone, attacking Baby Yoda, which I was angry about. Finally, the two rebel guys that were chasing them down in the beginning of the episode come and save them. That's where the episode ends for that one. Yeah, I don't like this episode. Our episode 3 better be fucking better. Episode 3 was a hell of a lot better. It is called The Heiress. And this is where we get our first cameo. Of course, they deliver the egg. They get to the planet where the frog lady lives and they deliver it to her and her husband. Her husband tells Mando that if you go to this bar, there are some people that know some Mandalorians. So he goes to that bar and speaks with this other guy. So he goes on this ship with these pirates dudes. These pirates dudes turn out to be freaking assholes, and they chuck Baby Yoda into, like, their little lake thing on their ship, and this monster swallows Baby Yoda in the egg. What the actual fuck are you doing? So Mando, being a good guy, jumps in after Baby Yoda, because why wouldn't he? He's his fucking son, his child, and we hear fighting up top. We see more Mandalorians in blue armor, and it didn't click way to me that when this one Mandalorian, in particular a familiar blue armor, holds out a hand for Mando, it didn't occur to me that that blue armor looks familiar. I wonder if that would be Bo-Katan. It turns out it is Bo-Katan. She takes off her helmet. Mando's like shocked because like this is not the way. And I'm like, she sounds exactly like Bo-Katan. And you know why? Because the voice actress that played Bo-Katan in both Clone Wars and in Rebels, that actress is playing her in the show, and I think that's just so cool. She tells Mando, because Mando's like, oh, this is not the way, you took off your helmet, what the fuck? She's like, no, literally, you're one of those Mandalorians that believes like the purity. We're still Mandalorians, but we just kind of like grew out of it and made our own ways, yada yada. Yada yada. Something like Jar Jar Binks, yada yada. She tells Mando that she can lead him to another Jedi if she helps him with this little mission to get information about Moff Gideon. If you've seen in the end of season 1, Moff Gideon has the dark saber, which is the saber you use to become the ruler of Mandalore. He decides to leave Baby Yoda with the frog lady and her husband when they still have their eggs. But it turns out fine, because the end of the episode, Baby Yoda ends up, the frog things hatch, and Baby Yoda ends up befriending the little frog babies that he once ate their brothers and sisters of. Okay, sure. We'll let it pass, it's Baby Yoda. Anyway, Bo-Katan's like, oh, hey, that Jedi that you want to find? Oh, that's Ahsoka Tano. What do you mean it's Ahsoka Tano? I didn't know 100% if Ahsoka was going to be in The Mandalorian or not, but she did that name drop, and I'm like, Ahsoka, yes, Ahsoka! That episode was a pretty good episode. I really liked episode 3 because I really like Bo-Katan. I really like her. Episode 4 is called The Siege, and we find Mando back on that planet with Cara Dune and Carl Weathers' character. I thought it was really cute when they got off the ship. Carl Weathers' character grabbed the child and was like, oh, is Mando taking good care of you? Oh, you're such a sweet baby. He's like baby talking the baby. That's adorable. Cara and Carl Weathers' character want Mando's help with something, and so they leave Baby Yoda in a school. So Baby Yoda's in that school, you know, he's just sitting at a little desk as a cute little baby that he is. I find it so funny. There's this kid that's sitting next to him that has like what I would assume just to be green or blue, like macaroon, and Baby Yoda's like, can I have one? Can I have one? And the kid's like, no. Baby Yoda's like, bitch, you wish. I'm a forcer. I can use the force. I'm a Jedi. That's a terrible impression of Baby Yoda. I'm so sorry. He uses his force powers and gets that cookie and then starts eating it. And he's eating it potentially throughout the entire episode. Towards the end of the episode where Mando's getting chased in his ship, Baby Yoda's still eating them, and they go do a bunch of like loop-de-loops, and Baby Yoda's like, wee! And then like Groot did, Baby Yoda gets sick and he vomits. And I'm just like... Mando is a bounty hunter and a killer, but yet when it comes to Baby Yoda, his son, he's like, oh no, I gotta make sure you are okay 100%. Anyway, back to Mando and Cara and Carl Weathers' character. They're going to this like old, I guess, Empire base. I don't know, there's still stormtroopers there. So the base is about to blow up. And they find this lab. And they see a hologram, or I guess a recording of that scientist guy with the glasses from season 1, who is talking about experiments in a transfusion. But I guess they wanted Baby Yoda's blood for some type of like cloning, because we find out in like episode 8 that this scientist is a clone scientist. So I'm guessing they want the midichlorians in Baby Yoda's blood to make like extra clones or to make a new army. I think that might tie into Snoke, which I really hope it doesn't, because like, I know Snoke is a clone, but I don't want them to tie in, they use like Baby Yoda's blood to like make Snoke. I don't want the Mandalorian to tie into those movies, because in my head, that new trilogy just is not canon in my head. Obviously, they didn't get enough of Baby Yoda's blood, so that's why they still need him. One of the really cool scenes that I really liked in this episode, you have the stormtroopers on the speeder bikes going over the cliff and down into the ravine. That was such a cool like action shot, the way it was shot and like looked. It was such a cool scene. This is also the episode where we learn that Cara Dune is from Alderaan. Alderaan is where, in the days of the Republic, Bail Organa represented Alderaan. There's some theory going around that Cara Dune is either related to Leia or related to Padme in some way. Either way, if it was either one of those theories, that'd be really, really dope. Disney, when it comes to Marvel and Star Wars, they don't just say something and just have it be a one-off. They usually bring it back later on. I feel like Cara Dune being from Alderaan is going to mean something and play an important part or just something in maybe season 3. We have this shot of Moff Gideon in this room with all like these soldiers in the wall. I mean, we know now that they're dark troopers, they're like robots, and they're fucking like insane powerful. When did the Mandalorian decide to have Transformers come into play here? Then we have episode 5, which is titled The Jedi. We all assumed that maybe it'd just be a small Ahsoka cameo. No, she's literally been in the first 2 minutes, she's already on screen. Oh, Ahsoka is going up against the magistrate, and this magistrate supposedly has some information that Ahsoka wants, but also she's treating these people in this town with like disrespect, being like a dictator, if you will. We see her and she's fighting, dual wielding her lightsabers, and it's just like, oh my god, it's Ahsoka in live action. Like, it's Ahsoka in live action. I can't. She did a really good job playing Ahsoka. I think she did a really nice job of kind of like holding that demeanor. He sees Ahsoka and he's like, are you Ahsoka Tano? Because Bo-Katan sent me. We see Ahsoka, it's nighttime. Ahsoka's communicating with the child. This is where we learn the child's story. We learn the origin story of Baby Yoda. But not Baby Yoda anymore. Grogu. Grogu is the name of the child, Baby Yoda. And let me tell you, it was a shock. We called him a child and Baby Yoda for so long that now just trying to say Grogu doesn't make any sense. So we learn that he was a Jedi raised on Coruscant. He had many, many masters, which would be really cool if Obi-Wan was one of his masters. That would have been really dope. I wonder if Grogu met Yoda. That would have been really cool if they did. At the end of the Clone Wars, he was hidden away because he was like a very powerful Jedi. And then supposedly someone stole him from in hiding. He doesn't remember anything after that. Some of his memories have started to go dark because he's felt so alone. He's been alone for so long. He learned he's had to hide his force powers for so long because of not just like the Empire, but also because he's been in hiding. That's why he's afraid to use them. And that's why he feels so alone, is because he's been alone for so long. Where was Grogu before Mando found him? We don't know. He's stashed in that building where Mando found him for many a years in sleep, or was he somewhere else? We don't know. I'd like to know. I would love to know where Grogu's been this whole time. Ahsoka can sense fear in him, which I believe, because he's had to hide his powers for so long. She's trying to get him to like move this rock and like get it from her to him. Like, he's not listening, and she's like, you have a strong bond with the child. Why don't you do it, Mandalorian? So the little like silver ball that he's always been playing with, Mando grabs it out of his pocket. So I'm like, come on, Grogu. Come on, child, you can do it. And then when Grogu does do it, Mando's like, gets to be like an excited dad. He's like, yay, you did it, you did it. He's praising him, and I'm just like, oh, he's such a proud dad. It's so sweet. Then Ahsoka's like, I can't train him. And Mando's like, what the fuck? What do you mean you can't train him? The problem is she says that he has an attachment too much to Mando. There's too much of an attachment there, too much emotion. That his attachment to Mando makes him weak, makes him vulnerable. If someone would hurt Mando really badly, Grogu could like force choke someone. He could hurt someone. She'd rather his abilities fade than him turn into evil, which was a direct hint at Anakin. That's why Jedis probably can't have relationships, is because their emotions cloud their judgment, as Obi-Wan said many a times. Obviously, they defeat the magistrate. Ahsoka goes up against with her one-on-one, and it's so cool, and they both drop their robes at the same time. God, that was such a cool action fight. I love it so much. Ahsoka's using her lightsaber. Such a cool fight scene. I loved it so much. She asked the magistrate, where is your master? Where is Admiral Thrawn?
What do you mean? Admiral Thrawn? Wait, hold the phone. What?
I dropped everything and I was like, I'm out. I can't. Are you telling me Thrawn? You know, he's such a calculating, manipulative, like little bad guy, but he's like got class and grace. There's a lot of edits going around of Benedict Cumberbatch as Thrawn, and I'm like, you know what? I could see it. She tells Mando to go to Tython and to place Baby Yoda on this like temple, this top. Then he can choose his fate, and other Jedi might hear him. Episode 6 is called The Tragedy. At the beginning of the episode, Mando and Grogu are like flying to Tython. He keeps calling Grogu by his name, and Grogu just keeps looking up being like, oh, you call me by my name, father. It's so cute. Their relationship, their bond is so cute. Places Baby Yoda at the top, or Grogu at the top of that temple. Like this electric thing shoots out of the sky, and so Baby Yoda's doing like the typical like yoga pose, being like, what do we also see? We see a ship. And I'm like, that looks like the Slave One. Is that Boba Fett's ship? Turns out it is Boba Fett's ship. He's been tracking Mando because he wants his armor back. And then Finnick shows up too. She's with Boba. And another ship shows up. Ship with stormtroopers. And they start fighting like Mando and Finnick and Boba Fett are all fighting together. We've seen so many stormtroopers die. You gotta find unique, creative ways to make them die. How about we watch one of them get rolled over with a giant boulder and they scream like, ah! Baby Yoda's orb vision thing that he had, I'm guessing it was a vision of Order 66. That's what a lot of people are saying. If that's the case, ooh, yikes. Boba Fett comes out in his armor and he's just like shooting people and it's just so fucking badass and so cool. Both of the stormtroopers get back in their ships and Boba Fett being like so badass and awesome that he is, he shoots his like back missile thing at one of the ships. That ship crashes into the other ship and so both those ships go down and then he's like, what? I was actually aiming for the other one. Bravo! Another shot rains out from the sky and blows up Mando's ship, and I'm like, are you kidding me? We learn later on that it's Moff Gideon's ship. Hey! Shoot down from the ship! They surrounded Baby Yoda, Grogu, and they pick him up and they fucking take him. No! I'm not having any of this bullshit! I wrote a lot of swear words all over this page because I was mad. The end of this episode where Baby Yoda's now in this jail cell. Moff Gideon, wanting to continue adding to his list of reasons why he's an asshole, shocks Baby Yoda, puts him to sleep, and I'm like, episode 7, The Believer. Still a pretty good episode. Not gonna lie. Cara Dune goes to that prison planet, takes Mayfield and tells him, hey, I need you for something. Apparently, Mayfield used to work for the Empire. To get the coordinates for Moff Gideon's ship, they need to go to a terminal. So they have to go to Morak, which has this like mining place. Mando and Mayfield go in these ships that contain brightonium, this very explosive stuff. Mayfield kind of delivers this speech of, why fight when you should just hang your head down and try to survive? I get why he's saying that, because why fight back when the Empire or the New Republic has so many, I guess, weapons and starfleets? Why keep fighting back when you can just scrape by and survive? But it's like, you're not really surviving if you're being held against your will. And I get where she's coming from, where some people just want to survive to live. But other people are like, I'm not going to survive, I want to be free. Pirates start attacking them, and they have to fight them back. And Mando does a pretty good job of kicking ass. It's really weird because they get back to that compound, the mining place. They were the only shipment with rhydonium to get back. So it's weird to have stormtroopers like congratulate them and be like, congratulations guys! Yeah, well we're here to like kind of like kill you, so like it was really awkward. And it got more awkwarder. They get to the base and they see this terminal. Mayfield's gonna go do it because Mando obviously doesn't want to take his helmet off because it's not the way. Mayfield decides to go in there. He sees one of the officers that he used to serve under and he's like, I can't do it. And Mando's like, give it to me, and Mayfield's like, no, you can't do it because you have to scan your face. Mando's gonna take his helmet off, isn't he? And he does. We see once again Pedro Pascal's face. He just wants to take his helmet off, quickly get it scanned, get the coordinates, and then put his helmet back on. No, that's not exactly how it goes. Mayfield's old commanding officer comes over to Mando. Mando is just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing. Mayfield comes in and says like he has a hard time hearing. He's gonna keep calling Mando, hey, what's up, brown eyes? How you doing? They have to sit through like a conversation. Mando's helmet off, and they have to talk to this commander guy. And this commander guy is an absolute douche. This commander guy just keeps spewing shit about how people love being ruled by the Empire because it gives them order. People wanted the Empire. They needed the Empire. And I can see Mayfield is not having it. And Mayfield just like, no, I'm done. And he shoots the guy. Mayfield! They have to shoot their way out. I guess Mayfield kind of like now is like a believer. Is why the episode's called Believer. He believes why. Now seeing from the commander, he realizes that people don't want to be ruled. They want to have that freedom. Episode ends with Mando sending a message to Moff Gideon. It's almost the exact same message that Moff Gideon said to him at the end of season 1. You don't know what you have. He's very precious. You don't understand what you are in possession of. And that's exactly what Mando says to Moff Gideon. You don't know what cargo you have. He's very precious to me. You don't know what you have in your possession. I'm coming for him. Heck yeah. So then we get to episode 8. Can I just say, I think this is my favorite episode because of that one scene that you know what I'm talking about. Episode 8 is called The Rescue, so obviously we know that Baby Yoda gets rescued. A lot of other stuff happens. A lot. Starts off with Boba Fett and everyone in his ship meeting up with the ship that's carrying that scientist. They board that ship, kill the 2 guys that are on it, and they take the scientist hostage. They're going to take him with them. They go back to that place where Bo-Katan is, and they ask for Bo-Katan's help. But Bo-Katan is on the journey with them, and they have another compatriot. I'm just like, yes, Bo-Katan's back. I loved her. All 6 of them are going to board and storm Moff Gideon's ship. Make a plan. Mando is going to go get the child while the other 4 of them go and like I guess, take out the stormtroopers and find Moff Gideon. They get in there, they shoot all the stormtroopers, and they go their separate ways. The dark troopers are starting to be active. Mando finds the dark troopers on his way to find the child. He has to fight them off. One of them bashes him in the head a couple times, and I'm like, oh my god! Meanwhile, Bo-Katan and her crew are getting to the control room. Where the fuck is Moff Gideon? Mando gets to Grogu's cell, and in the cell is fucking Moff Gideon with the Star Saber pointed at Baby Yoda. Can you just leave? Moff Gideon gives off this vibe of like, well, you can keep the child. I got what I want. I got his blood samples. You can have him back. It's not gonna be that easy. No way Moff Gideon is not gonna take down Mando and just give up the child that easily. And so Mando, with his Beskar spear, like, fights back against Moff, and that's really, really cool. But I forgot about this. So Mando defeated Moff Gideon. He tries to give the saber to Bo-Katan. She doesn't look very happy, and that's when I realized you have to defeat someone for the Star Saber, because Mando defeated Moff Gideon. He's now the rightful owner of the saber. The only way Bo-Katan can get the saber is if she were to defeat Mando. This is where the episode gets, like, great. Held up in this control room. The dark troopers are banging on the door. We see an X-Wing shoot by. An X-Wing that hit me. Wait. And I was like, is that Luke? Is that Luke's fucking Skywalker? I got so fucking excited. I'll put my clips here.
If Luke Skywalker shows up, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. I swear, I can't. Oh my god! Wait! Hold on!
This guy in a black robe with a lightsaber destroying all these troopers. He's got a green lightsaber.
I'm like, it's gotta be Luke, it's Luke, it's Luke, it's Luke, it has to be Luke.
He comes into the main area where all of them are. He pulls off his robe, and it's fucking Mark Hamill. It is young fucking Mark Hamill. It's his face. It's his voice. Or who knew? Who knew in the last episode we were gonna get Luke fucking Skywalker? I can't. That's why I start crying, because we got Luke. Then I'm like, but Grogu's gonna go with Luke, and he's not gonna stay with Mando, and my heart is breaking. And Mando picks up the child, and he's like, you have to go with Luke. You have to. He's gonna train you. He's gonna make you be an amazing Jedi. Mando takes off his helmet, and Grogu starts, like, touching his chin, and I'm just like, no. And then the episode just gets better. Fucking R2-D2 just, like, rolling in, being like,
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite.
so Luke picks up the child. I'm just sitting there bawling my eyes out. He tells Mando, may the Force be with you. And that's how the episode ends. I was both happy because I'm like, oh my god, Luke's here, he's gonna train Baby Yoda, but I was so sad at the same time. But Mando and the child are no longer together. There's an end credits scene of all things. We see Jabba's palace, and then Boba Fett. And I'm like, oh my god, Boba Fett's coming back because he used to work in that same area. So he kills the guy on the throne. Boba's in charge now. On the screen it flashes the book of Boba Fett. And then it says coming December 2021. I heard rumors we might be getting a Boba Fett TV show. Here they are. So those are all of my thoughts on Mandalorian Season 2. I had a lot of thoughts, I had a lot of feelings. The Rescue is, I think, my favorite overall episode because it's Luke's fucking Skywalker. I think that Luke is gonna play a pivotal role in Season 3 because Mando said he's gonna see the child real soon. My theory is that maybe Mando's gonna start going to visit Luke a little bit more. I think it'd be really cool if they casted Sebastian Stan as Luke. Sebastian Stan looks so similar to young Mark Hamill. Also, since Grogu is now in Luke's possession, could that possibly hint at maybe, like, Ahsoka and Luke meeting up and talking? Because that's what we need to have happen. Ahsoka needs to talk to Luke and tell Luke how Anakin was when he was, like, before Darth Vader. And Luke needs to tell Ahsoka that Anakin died good. He turned good before he died. So those are all of my thoughts on Mandalorian Season 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed me freaking out, because that's what I do all the time. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye, guys!